Wi-Fi extender tonight.
You're live.
Hey guys! Alright, so I'm gonna wait a little bit for people to get on. We're supposed to start here in 1 minute. And I'm also going to wait until I can pull up the chat here before I get started. So let's see, live now. Let's do it, guys. I've got quite a few things to talk about tonight, and we're going to start first. I'll turn my volume down. Today, and of course, like always, we'll talk about whatever else you guys would like to know as well. Van life, less stuff, more freedom. I hope that you have a happy new year. Thanks for being around. So, as I give it a couple more minutes here, I'll talk about this JPSK, this big old super kook here. If you're not familiar, the Super Kook is a project that I've been working on, I guess, for years now, and it's been a very interesting experience. It keeps going awry, and so this JPSK is an authorized version of the Super Kook from me. It's not actually my project, and geez, the wind is just now picking up. It's been perfect all night and now just blowing this fire in my face. But this is going to be a very special step in the history of the Super Kook because it's made in Nepal. These are serialized and they're never going to be made like this again. And so right now they're up for raffle on the Prepper's Bunker on Facebook, but you can find them in other places. Gary Gilbert is the point of contact for that. If anybody would like, I can put more of that information in the description box after this video and help you figure that out. But we do $10 a raffle ticket. You can buy 3 for $25, and right now your chances are looking pretty good. The last day for that is January 1st. So, Jason Swisher, it's good to see you on here. Whew! This is the new JPSK. Thought you'd find that fairly interesting. I've got more pictures of that and stuff. I'm sure you guys have seen. Golly, this fire is making me so mad. Okay, I've got to do something different. What's up, Jeff? Joseph Abna. I don't know if you may know from previous videos from me, but I personally every day carried a SIG 1911 for 5 years, and I took it to fighting pistol, and I am of the opinion right now that with what's available on the market, it is not a good choice for a fighting pistol. It's very comfortable to carry every day. I have no doubt that in your typical engagement, it would serve you well, but it is not what I am going to choose for a fighting pistol. And the reason for that has been outlined through my videos, so you can go through and check through my videos, and I've probably got an hour's worth of footage on it that will be better than this. Mike Bryant, good to have you, buddy. So, I already mentioned, we've got more people in here. JPSK, limited run, 12 of these Super Kooks, serialized, hand-forged in Nepal. Right now you can get them with a smaller version, the Ute, and I think we might have some available for sale as well for $200. Enough of that. The topic of today's video is, at least for the beginning, is the Bk9, the Junglas, and the Junglas 2. This is my Bk9. It has micarta scales on it from Kevin Castle at GK Outfitters. And this knife has been through a whole lot of stuff. And you're probably also familiar with the SC Junglas. It's basically become a staple on the chopper knife market. And the newly released SC Junglas 2. And you can see it's stuck in a log right now. I worked on trying to split this wood. I did all of the batoning for all of the wood for this fire, which has been burning for an hour and a half with this SC. And it's not going through this log. All of the wood is frozen. Most of it's cherry. I believe this is cherry as well. And so one of two things is going to happen here. I'm going to break this knife, which is unlikely, or it's going to go down through this log because I'm not giving up on it. But I worked on it for an hour today, and this is my mallet here. And it is more chewed up from today trying to baton this knife than it has been for about the last year, I think, since I made it, maybe even more, maybe a year and a half. And I have been full overhead swinging on this knife. I did it for an hour and my arms are sore, which has never happened. I've never had a knife this stuck. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But what's really cool, there's a lot of comparisons between the Bk9 and the SC Junglas. I might do one myself, but it might be a little overdone. And at this point, it's not really relevant anymore because as you can see here, the Bk9 and the SC Junglas are completely different size. Same thickness, completely different weight, completely different size. The modern K-bar Becker Bk9 is just over 16 ounces or just under 17 ounces, whereas off the top of my head, the SC Junglas is about 22 ounces with a blade length of, I think, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches longer than the Bk9, probably 1.5 inches. All right, so in comes the Junglas 2, a completely comparable knife. I mean, they are very, very similar in size and more similar in weight as well. Let me get my scribbles out of my pocket here and double check this weight before I lie to you guys about it. So the Junglas 2 here is 19.8 ounces, about 20 ounces. And like I said, the modern Becker Bk9 with factory scales is just over 16. Let's see here. 16.8, so I'll say about 17 ounces. So you have about a 3-ounce difference. Now, worthy of being mentioned, when the Bk9 was made by Canalus, it weighed 18.25 ounces because it had a solid handle. The new Becker tangs underneath the handles are skeletonized, which saved them about 1.5 ounces. That's a big difference maker because the Becker Bk9 actually feels like a bit more of a chopper than the Junglas 2, even though the Junglas 2 is 2 ounces heavier, and that's because this under the handle scales is solid. Now, typically, I really wish that these scales were skeletonized under the handles because it shifts the weight more forward and is really nice for chopping. But what it does with the Junglas 2 is it doesn't really feel like a chopper. And it doesn't really feel like a Junglas 2 or a Junglas Junior, which it is in every aspect, same thick. Alright guys, I apologize for, sorry guys, I should be back momentarily. Okay, I don't know where I dropped off there. I'm sorry about that, guys. Long story short, what I was talking about is the Becker Bk9 handle is hollow under the scale, and the SE is solid. So it feels very balanced. This doesn't feel like a large chopping knife. It feels more like an SE6 Plus or a SE8 than it does a Junglas Junior. And that's very cool with this blade. It's got a balance that a lot of people are gonna really like. And the extra blade length does allow it to do some chopping, but also gives you more flexibility with batoning. 6 inches on the blade is a little bit small, so the SE Junglas 2 is really in a cool spot. And